All my niggas ride for me. I got niggas that'll die for me. You niggas ain't built like that. Run around talking like a thug when you won't bust a slug, man. Niggas get killed like that. Acting like you bang for the set when you ain't blood or cuz, man. Blood'll get spilled like that. Niggas saying really they the plug, but they talking to the judge, man. Get your cap peeled like that, cause niggas get killed like that when you ain't built like that. You niggas ain't built like that. You was never on the block, you ain't never dodge a knock. You ain't never fought another crew holding down the park. You ain't swam with the sharks, you ain't wrestled with the gators. You was never fucking popping, you ain't got no fucking haters. Bitch, niggas like you make me watch out for the traitors. When you around some real niggas, mind your behavior. I will beat a nigga ass, then I'm laughing like I'm Jada. Get your fucking mind blown like a cartridge on a Sega. You niggas want attention, they don't want the war though. Talking all that shit, but you got a glass jaw. Ho, they never deliver. They got that DiGiorno. This that Walking Dead flow. I eat a rapper torso. You ain't the same man once you off the microphone. You ain't never broke a bone. You ain't never had a scar. You a certified pussy, so don't make me pull your card. I'm a certified prophet, respected like the word of God. Cause you ain't got the heart, nigga. You ain't got the heart. You ain't about to finish any beef that you start. You ain't never been a soldier, little nigga. Play your part. Claiming that you'll spark when you ain't got the heart. Cause you niggas ain't built like that. Run around talking like a thug when you won't bust a slug, man. Niggas get killed like that. Acting like you bang for the set when you ain't blood or cuz, man. Blood'll get spilled like that. Niggas saying really they the plug, but they talking to the judge, man. Get your cap peeled like that, cause niggas get killed like that when you ain't built like that. Run around talking like a thug when you won't bust a slug, man. Niggas get killed like that. Acting like you bang for the set when you ain't blood or cuz, man. Blood'll get spilled like that. Niggas saying really they the plug, but they talking to the judge, man. Get your cap peeled like that, cause niggas get killed like that. All my niggas ride for me. All my niggas ride with me. I got niggas that'll die for me. All my niggas ride with me. You niggas ain't.
All right, go ahead and clap it up. All right, Shalom Israel with the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the Command of General Yohana. Tonight is the Austin Tuesday night Brotherhood class. Okay? Brotherhood and sisterhood is a weapon. That's what's going to help rebuild and restore this nation that is so broken, that is so downtrodden, and that is so lost. Okay, we need that brotherhood and sisterhood because so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians need to band together. We need to come together under under this banner in the Israelite School of UPK. All right, and come to the home of the truth and learn. We all need our heritage. We all need to learn our customs. We need to learn our ways. And why do we need to learn our customs? Because without having our own customs, what do? We celebrate our oppressor's customs. We celebrate his holidays. Okay? What's coming up? In a couple of days, we got what? Thanksgiving. Okay? And that's what they call it, Thanksgiving. The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, that's not your feast day. Okay? Let me get Amos 5. That's not your feast day. You ain't supposed to be celebrating these customs and these traditions of America because they have everything to do with the death and the slaughter of your people. All right. we love to celebrate things. We love it. Okay, we say we coming together for our family, but really, why are we even coming together? What is it? Why do you celebrate Thanksgiving? Why does your mother? Why does your grandmother? They do this because of tradition. Okay, that's what it is. It's traditions that has us partaking in these feast days of America. Okay, well, we need to be just worried about the feast days of the Lord. All right, when you got that, you can read that.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 21.
Mhm.
I despise your feast days.
You know, I love.
I despise your feast days.
We just getting together because it's family.
I despise your feast days.
Mm-hmm.
I will not smell your solemn assemblies.
You hear that? You said the Lord said He hates your feast days. Thanksgiving, that's not a Lord's feast day. That's America's feast day, and He hates it. And He's not gonna smell your solemn assemblies. So while you praying over that pork, over that ham, over that turkey, over them yams, over them patties pies, okay? As you praying and giving reverence to the Lord for giving you this food to have this feast with, the Lord saying what? Read it from the top.
I despise your feast days.
The Lord hates and despises your feast days. He doesn't smell your solemn assemblies. He doesn't give any reverence to this day. While you sitting there thinking you're doing something, holding this long prayer while your little cousin is sneaking some food in his mouth. Okay. And another reason these holidays is so wicked because what do we say? We say we get together for family, right? But the family that's coming and getting together, they can't even stand each other. That's why your little cousins is fighting over the dice game. That's why your two uncles they ain't got along since '84. Okay, so we gotta get some understanding that the Lord is not with you on these feast days. The Lord hates your feast days. You can finish it out.
And I will not smell your solemn assemblies.
That's it. All right, we're gonna drop that. We're gonna get to this article. Okay, the real story of Thanksgiving. Okay, story of a massacre by Susan Bates. All right, and we'll get some understanding about what Thanksgiving really is. Because and see, this is the problem with our people. We always want to turn everything to what we want it to mean.
Right.
It don't matter what it really is. It don't matter the truth about it. Well, I don't celebrate it for that. Well, then what the hell are you celebrating? You are celebrating it. You are celebrating the murder and the death of the Native Indians. That's what you are doing. Okay? And you have absolutely no problem doing it because in your mind, I'm not celebrating that. It's just getting together with my family and we eating good food and it's love and it's hugs and it's kisses when it's neither of those things.
Right.
All right, you can go ahead, Tamakia.
Come on, sir. This is the article of the real story of Thanksgiving. The real story of Thanksgiving is. Oh, you already said that. Sorry. Let me reread it.
Yeah.
The real story of Thanksgiving, explained by Susan Bates, doesn't have quite the same fuzzy feeling associated with it as the one where the Indians and the Pilgrims are all sitting down together at the big feast.
You see, they don't have that fuzzy feeling. That fuzzy feeling of what they taught you in school, that it was about peace. It was about love. And they came together and they made peace. And the Indians taught them certain things, and the natives taught them certain things, and they exchanged this information and made the world better. Okay, go ahead and get into it.
We all need to learn the painful history of Thanksgiving.
No, the wonderful history.
The painful history.
The loving history.
The painful history of Thanksgiving. So we do not live in lies.
Where are we at right now? We're in this is ISUPK, the home of the truth. Okay? That's why you need to learn this painful history of Thanksgiving, so we don't live in lies. See, we got to stop living in lies. We love to live in the lie. We love to carry on these traditions, even though you know it's a damn lie. You know it wasn't about no peace, because where the hell are all their lands?
Right.
What did they get? They're in reservations. They gave them the worst of the land. They didn't give them the land that they was originally just holding. They said, "Oh, you take that worst patch." Okay, go ahead and continue.
Abraham Lincoln proclaimed the day of Thanksgiving in 1863. The federal government declared the last Thursday in November as the legal holiday of Thanksgiving in 1898.
So right there, it's telling you the last Thursday in November. That's your Thanksgiving. That's when y'all can go give thanks. And so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, what are y'all giving thanks for? I understand why Esau and I understand why your oppressor is giving thanks, because of what? His ancestors are the conquerors. Okay, they are descendants of ancestors who conquered. Okay, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we are descendants of the ancestors who were of the ones who were conquered. Okay, so while they're handing down generational wealth, I think somebody's at the door. While they was handing down generational wealth, okay, we were handing down generational curses. So we got to understand that this is wicked, and this is a painful history. Right. And ask the Native American, ask our Native American brothers and sisters how painful this history was. Okay, you can continue.
However, the meaning of Thanksgiving for Native Americans is filled with painful history, which has been covered up with the Pilgrims and Indian story.
You see, that's what the oppressor does. That's what the enemy does. That's what the devil does. They came and they cover it up with a friendly story. Okay? Have you drawn it when you in elementary, coloring, okay? Making little, you got to make some people was making the the native headband, right, and others was making the pilgrim hat. And you know what I'm starting to realize this right now as I'm teaching this class? I remember all of us of color had the Indian thing that we took home with our name on it, and all the white kids in the class had the pilgrim hat, and they took home with their name on it. It's just all around wicked. Even when we take it to the sports, it's so wicked, because what do? They was putting the Cowboys versus the Indians, right? That's what they do. I watch a lot of old westerns and stuff, and I just see how they talked, how they treat the natives in there, and it's just crazy that they'll call you the savage as they're doing savagery to you. So they can kill you, rape, rob, and pillage, but you're the savage, even though you do no harm to them. Okay? America is wicked. Right. And that's why if you live by America's customs, you are wicked too. A lot of our people just don't know no better, And Barakatah Yahweh Shah for the Israelite School of UPK to clarify it, right, to give you the practical knowledge, to teach you what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. All right, continue on.
Most of us associate the holiday with happy pilgrims and Indians sitting down to a big feast. And that did happen once.
How many times?
Once.
Okay. Continue.
The story began in 1614 when a band of English explorers sailed home to England with a ship full of Pataquets Indians bound for slavery.
Now, what were they?
Indians.
What were they?
Pataquets.
No, bound for what?
Bound for slavery.
No, they was going there to have one happy feast.
Bound for slavery.
It said a band. It said a band of English explorers. Okay, a band. That's like an army. They wasn't having no instruments. They had instruments of war in their hand. Okay, and they came and took a ship full of these natives that was bound for slavery. Continue reading. Let's see what they did to the ones that they couldn't catch up and bring back for slavery.
They left behind smallpox.
No, what they do?
Left behind smallpox.
Good night. Continue.
Which brutally wiped out those who had escaped. By the time the Pilgrims arrived in Massachusetts Bay, they found only one living Pataquets Indian, a man named Sesquanto, who had survived slavery in England and knew their language.
So out of all of them, they found one. Just one that survived slavery in England and knew their language. How did he survive? You know, how did he survive? How did he know their language?
Right.
Because he was there as a slave as a child. Okay. Right. That's why he was able to beat their diseases and all that. Because he went there as a child. Okay. Continue reading. That's Squanto. All right. Let's get some more.
He taught them to grow corn and to fish, and negotiated a peace treaty between the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag Nation.
See, so Squanto, he's the one. He taught them how to grow the corn, taught them how to fish. He taught them their ways. He taught them how they do things there, how they get the results they're looking for. Okay, and he negotiated the peace treaty because he was able to speak, you know, their language and his native language. Okay, he was able to negotiate this peace treaty between these parties. Continue.
At the end of their first year, the Pilgrims held a great feast honoring Squanto and the Wampanoags.
Continue.
But as the word spread in England about the paradise to be found in the New World, religious zealots called Puritans began arriving at the boatload.
By the boatload. They're arriving by the boatload. When somebody says a boatload, you know it's a lot. They're arriving by the boatloads. Right. Continue.
Finding no fence around the land, they considered it to be a public domain.
So since it isn't fenced off, they consider it to be public domain. And you know what's so wicked about that? After they conquered it, they didn't go and fence it off, right? They didn't think of fencing it off, but they don't consider it public domain no more. They consider it theirs. Let's get some scripture. Let me get Psalms 83. We'll go 83 and 3. We go. Or start at 2.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make atonement, and they that hate thee have lifted up their heads.
Continue.
Verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They did what?
Taking crafty counsel against thy people.
You see, they took a crafty counsel when they found out this land was plentiful and had slaves for them. Right. They took a crafty counsel. Them religious zealots and those Puritans, ain't that what it said? They took a crafty counsel against our Gadite brothers, the Reubenites. Okay, they took crafty counsel. Right. All right. Continue reading.
Come. And consulted against thy hidden ones.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 4. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation.
Let us come and cut them off from being a nation. They don't have any fences. This has to be public domain. That's what they said.
Right.
They read that again.
Verse 4. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation,
Mm-hmm.
that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
That the name of Israel won't be no more in remembrance. And they take your name away from you. That's why we don't know we Israel. That's why Kyrie is going through hell.
Right.
Because he said we are the Jews. Okay? Kanye's going through hell because he said we are the Jews.
Right.
All right? But they don't want you to know that. You know, if you say you a Jew, then that's an anti-defamation case. God, just want some of the cup. That's an anti-defamation case.
Right.
That's how wicked they are. And that's why it says they take crafty counsel. And they say we're going to cut them off from being a nation, period. They won't let us be a nation at all. Okay? You're not allowed to be an Israelite. You're allowed to be anything else that you want to be. You could be a homosexual. You can be what is it? You can be any damn thing you want.
Right.
But you can't be the children of God. Not you niggas. Not you worthless, down low, downtrodden people. Not you destroyed people. No, you can't be. Okay? They cut us off from being a nation. That's what they did to our native brothers. They cut us off from being a nation so much that they can't even, they don't even got their other names that they use after already being cut, you know? Where's the Chickasaws and the Chickasaws and the Cherokee? Y'all ain't calling them that. Okay? Y'all cut them off from being a nation. Continue reading.
Right. If I could.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Damn right.
Now they're called Native Americans.
Right.
By the pillaging and colonized.
Yeah, this got too many cracks.
Oh.
Go ahead, though. Finish your statement.
No, I was just saying because they colonized and patronized our people that now we're named after them. Now we're known as Texans or New Yorkers or we're not Israel anymore. We was cut off.
Right. Yeah, that brother, damn right. And what you're saying is so heavy because they cut you off and then they brand you under their name. They declare you under their name. So now you gotta be a Johnson. You gotta be a Rodriguez. Okay? Because you can't be Issachar. You can't be Judah. Okay?
Right.
They cut us off. They don't want the name of Israel being in remembrance no more. Continue reading.
Verse 5. For they have consulted together with one consent.
Mm-hmm.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate. They team up. They are together against you in your plights. Give me Zechariah 11:5.
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 11, verse 5. Whose possessors slay them and held themselves not guilty.
That's what they do. Your possessors slay them. They said, this is public domain. We're going to take them for slaves. We're going to kill them off. We're going to make hundreds of treaties. We're going to kill all their animals. Like, do you know they killed the buffalo just to hurt the natives? Because the natives use the buffalo so much. They can do so much with a buffalo. You know? What does your oppressor do? He'll kill it for sport. He kills to hang it on the wall.
Right.
Okay? The natives was killing, they was using all of it. Not us, though. What do we want to do? We just want to go ahead and say, We just want to keep reading.
Okay. And hold themselves not guilty.
Mm-hmm.
And they that sell them say, Blessed be the Lord,
Mm-hmm.
for I am rich. And their own shepherds pity them not.
You see, that's why we get slayed. And that's why they hold themselves not accountable. Because our shepherds don't pity them. They feel rich. They're out here in the world doing whatever the hell they are while they are oppressing you. Okay? And your shepherds ain't saying nothing. What the hell is TD Jake saying? Did TD Jake stand up for Kyrie Irving? Does TD Jakes give a damn about anybody getting shot? Does Geno Jennings? Does any what's it, Creflo Dollar?
Right.
What kind of damn name is that?
Right.
You sound like a crook. You know? But if you knew who your real shepherds was, Commander General Yohana,
That's right,
and the generals, these bad captains, then you would know that your shepherd, you have shepherds
right.
who would be over you, who lead the flock. But you got to be a part of the flock. Okay? All right, we can drop that and let's get back to the article.
From where we left off from the article, the real story of Thanksgiving. Joined by the other British settlers, they seized land, capturing strong young natives for slaves and killing the rest.
Mm-hmm.
But the Pequot nation had not agreed to the peace treaty Sesquanto had negotiated, and they fought back.
You see, they didn't agree to this peace treaty, okay, that Squanto made. They said, the hell with Squanto. We don't agree, okay? We do not agree with this. So we ain't with it. We are going to fight, okay? And you see these British, you can't trust them because they seized these young slaves, all right? No, we're gonna keep reading. I just want to get the scripture, but it'll fit anywhere with these devils. Okay, continue reading.
The Pequot War was one of the bloodiest Indian wars ever fought.
It was what?
One of the bloodiest Indian wars ever fought.
They fought. They fought for what they believed in. They stood on something. They stood on their 10 toes and they said, we'd rather die. Okay, we'd rather die free men than be bonded and bound to something so evil, something so wicked and disgusting and vile. Continue reading.
In 1637, near present day Groton, Connecticut, over 700 men, women, and children of the Pequot tribe had gathered for their annual Green Corn Festival, which is our Thanksgiving celebration.
You see, that's what it was. They had this green corn festival because they were celebrating for these crops that you could grow at these times before the cold comes in too much. So you can grow like the squashy things, like pumpkin, like potato. These are the things that you're able to grow at these times. Okay, so they having that festival. Well, the oppressor came, and after they conquered them, they turned that festival into their Thanksgiving. Continue reading.
In the pre-dawn hours, the sleeping Indians were surrounded by English and Dutch mercenaries who ordered them to come outside.
All right, now listen to this. They were surrounded. Okay, while they was in there trying to sleep peacefully, they were surrounded and was told to come outside. Let's see what for. Let's see how these wicked bastards operate. Continue reading.
Those who came out were shot and clubbed to death, while the terrified women and children who huddled inside the longhouse were burnt alive.
So the men came out to get shot and clubbed, and those scared women and children that were in there, what happened to them?
were burnt alive.
They were burned alive. Now that's wickedness. You're going to burn these women and children alive, so you can gloat in their screams. Their screams have brought pleasantries to your ears. Continue reading.
The next day, John Withrop, 1588, 1649, when he lived, the governor of the Massachusetts Bay Colony, declared a day of Thanksgiving because of 700 unarmed men, women, and children were murdered.
Why does the white man celebrate Thanksgiving?
Because 700 unarmed men, women, and children were murdered.
Why does he call this a day of Thanksgiving?
It's like 700 unarmed men, women, and children had been murdered.
That's how your enemy thinks, because it was so easy that he has to give thanks. This is a Thanksgiving to him because it was so easy for him to murder your people, for him to kill your people. They're giving thanks for 700 unarmed men and women to be murdered. What the hell are you sitting here celebrating it today for? What the hell are you giving thanks for?
Right.
Your big mama's diabetes? Your uncle's cataracts? Ray getting shot 2 months ago? What the hell are you giving thanks for? As you sit down at that table with your family, bowing your head to pray and eating over this feast day that the Lord did not declare, that's what you're giving thanks for as well. You're giving thanks for your own brothers being murdered, your own sisters being murdered, 700 unarmed men. That's what you are dedicating this damn day to every year, the last Thursday of the month. And they do it so proudly, right, so boastfully, like they so right. And because you don't want no damn turkey or ham or any of the food, that you're not partaking in any of the celebration with them, you're in a cult. When really you're in a cult. You're in your oppressor's cult. Right. Because on this day, you celebrating the death and the murder of 700 unarmed. You know how wicked that is? 700 unarmed men and women, and you gladly celebrate it. It don't make no damn sense. Go ahead and continue.
Cheered by their victory, the brave colonists and their Indian allies attacked village after village. Mm-hmm. Women and children over 14 were sold into slavery, while the rest were murdered. Boats loaded with many as 500 slaves regularly left.
Sometimes.
Regularly left.
Occasionally.
Regularly left.
What the hell does regularly mean? That means they regularly was enslaving these Native Indians. See, and this is why you got to understand that we are the 12 tribes of Israel, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Because this is where it starts. It starts right. It starts with this. It starts with this slavery, Native Indians. Then we have the so-called Hispanics. Then we have the so-called Negroes. Right. Why do we all fit the bill? We all was paraded. We all was taken into Egypt again in ships. Let me get that real quick. Deuteronomy 28:68. Go ahead.
If I could add too, sir.
Damn right.
28:68. The heavy part that a lot of us don't know about this word port. This word port came from slaves being shipped from port to port.
That's right.
That was their landing dock for the slaves to arrive at.
Damn right.
And man, what we got? Port Arthur, Port Aransas.
Yep. Puerto Rico.
South Padre, like that was a port too. Like,
right.
Yeah, Puerto Rico, good night.
And that's and see what a lot of people don't know is because of slavery. The reason they called it Puerto Rico is because it means rich port. Right. So they was getting buku slaves from there. Right. It was rich for them. Puerto Rico means rich port. So what the priest was saying was absolutely correct, absolutely definite, absolutely heavy. Okay, because that's what That's what it is. They were going from port to port, okay, and shipping you all across, taking boatloads regularly, okay, taking us all into Egypt again with ships. We're going to get that right now for you.
Come. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way thereof.
So it says it's going to bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Now, you know, from Israel to Egypt, you don't need a ship. You can walk. It's nothing. Okay. So he said, I will take you into Egypt again with ships. Continue.
By the way thereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again.
Thou shalt see it no more again. It's talking about our land, our home, Israel. Okay, continue.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Should be what?
Sold unto your enemies.
Unto your friends.
Unto your enemies.
Billy's your friend.
Unto your enemies.
Susie with the pumpernickel baked goods.
Enemies.
She makes the best Frappuccino mocha coffee.
Sold unto your enemies.
They sold it to your enemies, but me and Tom, we talk baseball. We talk baseball, and oh man, he knows all the stats. This would be sold into your enemies, man. You wasn't sold into your damn friends. And so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, learn your history. I used to be so damn proud to have that last name. You know, to have that Puerto Rican last name, just to find out it's not. It don't have nothing to do with my damn people. You know why I have that last name? Because Puerto Ricans and Hispanics was conquered too. You know, it wasn't just the Johnsons and what else? What else? The Jacksons and the damn show, the Washingtons, for damn show. Okay, it wasn't just that. It wasn't the Hildebrandts. It wasn't just them. It was the Rodriguezes. It was the Hernandez, the Castillos. Okay, just like it was little Redfoot and little Running Bear and Falcon and Benji and Tomahawk. I just had to say some of the names I really know, you know, because I grew up with natives. Okay, the reservation is right down the street from me where I grew up, 5 minutes away. We used to stay going to the reservation, stay going to the Nisqually River. Okay, Little Creek casinos and all that. All of our stuff, I stayed on, you know, we got schools like Nisqually, Camacha, you know what I mean? So I grew up in a heavily induced native surrounding. So I understand what it means. I understand their reservation was at the bottom of the damn hill. We go down a big hill to go to the res, to go to Nisqually. It's all the way down. And you know what happens when it rains too much? It floods. But nowhere the hell else does. Because their enemy said, I'll give you this land to be the reservation. And everything up here, I'll take. Where are we at?
We don't Deuteronomy, sir.
Oh, yeah, go ahead and finish that out.
Thou shalt see it no more, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
Bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you, because you know you can buy out. You can buy a slave out of slavery. Right. You can buy him out. He'd be bonded. He'd be a free man. He'd get a paper, have his little clearance. Okay, but no man was gonna come buy you. You know why? Because you were sold into your enemies. Now let's get back to the article. The water Tamakia. Give Officer Tamakia a hand. That brother right there, that's an excellent brother. And that's my nigga. You know, that is my nigga right there.
Yeah, right, sir. All right, boats loaded with as many as 500 slaves regularly left the ports of New England.
Mm-hmm. They said, hold on, regularly 500 slaves. That's a lot. Just think, Just think if they came and got 500 from Bayou. Okay, that's a lot, and that's regularly happening, non-stop. Continue.
Bounties were paid for Indian scalps.
It's yeah. Go ahead.
Bounties were paid for Indian scalps to encourage as many deaths as possible.
So if you bring a scalp, you know how sick and wicked you got to be. You got a scalp. If you bring in scalps, it said that encouraged them, encourage as many deaths as possible. So they paid you just to encourage you to kill. Go ahead and continue.
Following an expectedly successful raid against the Pequot in what is now Stamford, Connecticut, the churches announced the second day of Thanksgiving to celebrate victory over the heathen savages.
It said the what did?
The churches announced.
Christians. That's why you celebrate. That's why every Christian celebrates Thanksgiving, because what?
The churches announced a second day of Thanksgiving.
Damn. So they didn't just have one, they needed a second day. They said every time we kill, every time we scalp and pay this bounty, we're going to celebrate. And they celebrate the death of your people, just like they celebrate the death of your people now. Go ahead, Officer.
Man, even the real story of Thanksgiving has lies in it. Like it said, the victory over the heathen savages.
Right.
Like the heathens are the only savages that scalped the Native Indians,
right,
murdered children, women, and men that were unarmed. That's a heathen savage right there.
That's a savage, and they was heathen. Give that brother, because they definitely was the heathens,
right?
And they definitely were the savages.
That's right.
Because they rape, rob, murder, pillage, and you're the bad guy.
Right.
I come into your house, I rape your women and your children, kill you, but you were the savage because you want to try to protect your home, because you love your wife and children.
Right.
That's what makes you a savage. What makes y'all not the savage? With everything you've done in this world, what makes y'all not the savage?
Right.
Can y'all answer that? What makes y'all humble? Do y'all have any compassion? No, because y'all want to change history. Let's continue reading.
During the feasting, the hacked off heads of natives were kicked through the streets like soccer balls.
Read that one more time.
During the feasting, the hacked off heads of natives were kicked through the streets like soccer balls.
Do y'all hear that? They were playing soccer with your heads, literally. And y'all don't care? That doesn't bother y'all one bit? That's enough right there to make me say, I really don't have nothing to be thankful for.
Right.
You know, the only ones who got real Thanksgiving is the men and women here in Israelite School of UPK. We actually got something to be thankful for.
That's right.
We got a wonderful leader in Commander General Yohana. All right. We got a wonderful king in Yahushua. We have a God who loves us. Okay. But anywhere else, what the hell is you thankful for? That heads was kicked around the streets like soccer balls? Continue.
Even the friendly Wampanoag, right?
Wampanoag.
Oh, sorry. Wampanoag didn't escape the madness.
So even the friendly ones, their heads are getting kicked off too. But let's see how even wicked and how they impute fear into you. This is how they make you so feared that all your descendants celebrate Thanksgiving. Right here. Go ahead.
Their chief was beheaded and his head impaled in a pole in Plymouth, Massachusetts, where it remained on display for 24 years. The killers.
Hold on, Tamaki. They took their leader, the chief, the highest. They didn't kick his head through the street. They impaled it on a pole and had it raised up for 24 years. So there ain't even gonna be no damn skin and bones on there after 24 years. But you know what? It instills the fear year after year after year.
Right.
Because if you a little kid and your daddy was telling you that was Chief Littlefoot, right? Chief Big Bear.
Right.
Okay. And you growing up, so you 4, okay? 10 years later, you 14, that head is still there. Then another 10 years, you're going to be like, okay, maybe I need to get my act together. Maybe I need to just do whatever the hell they tell me to. They had it impaled. So they put your head on a stake and they raise it, Tamaki, and they leave it there for 24 years.
Heathen savage.
So that's a heathen savage. So who else is seeing that? Your descendants.
Right.
Your descendants after your descendants after your descendants. That's him up there. That was your great-great-grandfather. Still up there. That was your great-grandfather. That's your grandfather. Still up there.
Well,
that was my great uncle. They are so wicked, man, and they don't give a damn.
Right.
They will look you in your eyes and say, you don't celebrate Thanksgiving. You're not thankful? Am I thankful for having my head impaled? Am I thankful for 700 unarmed men and women and children being murdered? Go ahead.
This is how you know that the Native Indians are our family. They was one of the first people to call the so-called white man the devil.
That's right. And how do they do that? They say he speak with a forked tongue. Right. You know how a snake, a serpent, how a devil has that forked tongue? Right. That's what they said. Because they knew he could not be trusted.
That's right.
Okay? And all you so-called blackity blacks and I love Africa, y'all love the damn snake. Y'all think the snake is so special. Y'all think the white man did something to make the snake bad. No. Why the hell would he be referred to a snake if it was good?
Right.
Okay? Get up out of all that nonsense, out of that wickedness. Let's continue.
Yeah, I was the
Oh, no, go ahead and add.
Nah, that was another class. I was just gonna say how the snake evolved.
Oh, you could probably bring that out.
Okay, yeah. No sweat. Okay, we know the serpent as a snake, right? And evolution appeared onto this snake. Now, what does this snake have? It has fire, like a dragon, and you can see its tails forming. Boom. Just like it did on Nagasaki in Japan. Mm-hmm. Just like it does when they had the war in Iraq, man, all those bombs. Now what they got? They got drones that'll come and blow you up, man.
That's right. And the thing is, like, our oppressor is so advanced in wickedness and evilness, is he could just sit home and just guide every missile wherever he wants. He could direct it. He could chase a damn plane with it as you turn and thinking you getting away. And that's why you can't fight him with his guns and with his army.
Right.
But you will be able to fight him with the Israelite School of UPK. You will be able to fight him with Yahweh Shai Mashiach.
Right.
Okay? That's what we are going to fight with. Okay? That's how we are going to win the war. Continue reading.
Sir. The killings became more and more frenzied. With days of Thanksgiving feast being held after each successful massacre.
That's what I'm saying. They had days and days and days and days. After each successful massacre, after each time they came and killed, okay? After each time they came and murdered, robbed, raped, and pillaged, they had a day of Thanksgiving. This is what Thanksgiving means. Why the hell do you think they're thankful? Do you think they would have Thanksgiving if you would have won? You think they'd still be thankful if you won? No, they wouldn't. Go ahead and continue reading.
Sir. George Washington finally suggested that only one day of Thanksgiving per year be set aside instead of celebrating each and every massacre.
That's because it was too frenzied. You know, they're killing and they're getting amped up, and we don't need to celebrate it every day. But you'll just make sure y'all keep killing every day. Continue reading.
Later, Abraham Lincoln decreed Thanksgiving Day to be a legal national holiday during the Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
On the same day, he ordered troops to march against the starving Sioux
mm-hmm.
in Minnesota.
So, on the same day that he declared it to be a national holiday, he said, I want y'all to go march on this set of natives. This is the wickedness of America. This is what we try to get you to understand. And because we try to get you to understand this, we're a hate group. We're a cult. But why aren't they a hate group?
Right.
When they over here killing for no damn reason. It says the day he declared that, on the same day, he ordered, okay? He ordered troops. That means he sent the military. How the hell do you order troops without sending the military to go handle that? And they marched against the starving. So not only do they have to fight for their lives and fan office at the Makia, they are hungry.
That's right.
We are so downtrodden. We are so broken. Okay? And this is the wickedness that America displays time and time and time again. It's never ending. Let me get that. Let me find a perpetual hatred. They have a perpetual hatred. Ezekiel 35:5. How can you not have a perpetual hatred if this is what you do? Okay?
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, verse 5. And it reads, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end.
You see, they have a perpetual hatred. It's endless. That's why no matter how much time have they been above and we've been below, and they still hate us? We are so destroyed and they still hate us? Good night. Continue reading.
Verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee.
Mm-hmm.
Sit thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee.
You could drop that, and we're going to get back to the article. They have a perpetual hatred, okay? And that perpetual hatred, it is destroying our community, because we believe that they have actual love for us and compassion. But they don't have any love. They don't have any compassion. And for so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, your oppressor is nothing more than an actual terrorist.
Right.
Way far more successful than the Arabs who did 9/11 or whatever the hell. Okay? You can continue when you got that.
Come on, sir. Oh, right. The story doesn't have quite the same fuzzy feeling associated with it as the one where the Indians and the Pilgrims are all sitting down together at the big feast. Mm-hmm. But we need to learn our true history so it won't ever be repeated.
So it won't what?
So it won't ever be repeated.
See, they're trying to let you know. You need to know the real history, because that's the thing with history. Like it said, history that you don't know is bound to repeat itself, and that's what's happening. That's what's going to happen. Why do you think? Why do you think this? Just think about this. So there was slavery, right?
Right.
And then people will say, well, I didn't own any slaves.
Right.
Then there was Jim Crow. Well, I wasn't around for Jim Crow, right? Then there's today with their damn foot on your neck, right? George Floyd. But you know what our children's, the oppressor's going to say to our children? I wasn't there for George Floyd. I wasn't there for what happened to Trayvon Martin. I wasn't. They're never there, but you want to know what? They're always there because that's the same damn people. It's descendants from descendants from descendants from descendants. Because if you keep descending and you've been oppressed the whole time, the oppressor has to keep descending as well. Go ahead and continue.
Wrong, sir. Next Thanksgiving, when you gather your loved ones to thank God.
To thank who?
To thank God.
To thank Yahweh for this pork, for this pig. Okay.
The next Thanksgiving, when you gather with your loved ones to thank God for all your blessings, think about those people. Think about those people who only wanted to live their lives and raise their families.
Who only wanted to what?
Who only wanted to live their lives and raise their families.
We only want to live our, hold on, give me Genesis. We only want to live our lives and raise our family. Genesis 25 and 27. We only want to live our lives and raise our family. But we can't do that. There's a reason.
Right, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 27. It reads, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter.
He was what?
A cunning hunter.
He's hunting people, he's hunting animals. He's a what?
A cunning hunter.
He's a cunning hunter. He's going to wake up at 3 a.m. He's going to put deer piss all over his body. He's going to sit up in a tree in a hammock just to kill Bambi. That's it. That's his only goal. You know, and then he's going to put him on the wall. Okay. He's going to hunt your steps. Ain't that what the Bible says? They hunt our steps. He's going to hunt your steps, hunt you down, and murder you. All for what? Okay? Because he is a cunning hunter. Continue.
A man of the field.
A what?
A man of the field.
He's all the way out there. He's all in the field. Esau go any damn where. He go to a top of the mountain that I wouldn't even fly over.
Right.
He just up there chilling. Yeah, I'm going to the Appalachians. I'm gonna spend 3 nights up there.
Mount Everest.
I'm going to Mount Everest. You know I'm from Washington. I'm going to Mount Everest. Mount Rainier, Crystal Mountain. You know how many Edomites I've seen go up there and spend nights?
Rockies.
Good. They comfortable. Hey, I'm gonna go to Africa and I'm gonna climb Mount Kilimanjaro. It's the tallest mountain. I'm gonna conquer it. I'm gonna stay up there.
Put a flag there. Right?
They be walking around the damn Grand Canyon. They walking on the cliff. It ain't nothing but a shoestring damn wide.
Right.
and they love it. They in the field. They out there. They're doing all of that. They don't give a damn. Continue reading.
And Jacob was a plain man.
He was what?
A plain man.
Hey, he plain. We just trying to take care of, what they say? We just trying to take care of our family.
Right.
We're just trying to live and take care of our family. That's it. We plain.
That's right.
We don't need nothing extravagant. Not trying to go skydiving. You know, there's enough excitement driving home from work. If you're a so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian,
Right?
You make it home. You like, I made it. Every time I make it home, I'm like, damn, I made it home,
Man.
because it ain't promised for us. Because I can die for having a license, insurance, and registration. For having it.
Man.
Oh, you think you're bad?
Right.
Because they want you to not have something. Continue.
And Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents.
That's why we in the house. It's not safe outside. Okay? Even though we outside, but we be chilling. We in the house 3, 4 in the morning. I'm not waking up to go hunt. I remember people used to try to get me to go hunt back in the day. I'm not doing all that. No. I'm in the house. I'm chilling. Now, if I got to kill to survive, kill to eat, okay, that's understandable. But I'm not just going for fun. Not going to hunt ducks and for sport.
Right. Yeah,
The oppressor kills for sport. George Floyd, he was killed for sport. Let me see how long I can keep my foot on this nigga's neck. Trayvon Martin was killed for sport. George, what was his name? Zimmerman. Hey, stand down. Nah. What did he do? He killed him.
Right.
That's killing for sport. You could drop that. Let's get back to the article.
All right. This is the real story of Thanksgiving. All right.
You start back from when they said,
The next Thanksgiving.
no, yeah, start all the way from that.
The next Thanksgiving, when you gather with your loved ones to thank God for all your blessings, think about those people who only wanted to live their lives and raise their families.
All right. So while you taking that time, let's see what the time that they took. Continue.
They also took time out to say thank you to Creator for all their blessings.
You see, and how y'all just represent this wicked holiday. Y'all just love it so damn much, and it's so disgusting. Okay, now let's get back to the Bible so we can give you some more precepts to let you know that this stuff is wicked and who you should trust and who you shouldn't trust. Give me Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 12, verse 10. See, this is important. This is important that you know real history. Okay? But you know that slave mentality is we don't care. You can start there though, and then we'll go to 10. Give me that.
Okay. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
For the Most High hated sinners.
For the Most High hated sinners, like He hated your feast day, like you celebrating this wicked holiday. The Most High hates that. Okay, right. Continue reading.
And keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment.
You say it keeps them. All right. Is there more on that? Keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment. Just like where it says, read that one more time.
For the Most High hated sinners and will repay vengeance unto the ungodly and keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment.
You see, y'all think people think they're not going to get punished because it's not expedient. There's another scripture that says that. Okay, you're going to feel it because the Lord hated sinners.
That's right.
Keep going.
Verse 7. Give unto the good and keep not the sinner.
You see, give unto the good. Keep not that sinner. Continue reading.
Verse 8. A friend cannot be known in prosperity.
A friend can't be known in prosperity. When everything's good, it's good, you know? Continue reading.
And an enemy can't be hidden in adversity.
Continue.
Verse 9. In the prosperity of a man, enemies will be grieved. But in his adversity, even a friend will depart.
You see that? In adversity, when things are good, you know, it's all good. But in adversity, even a friend will depart. I remember there was this one song where he said, in a little intro, he said, oh, it was Jay-Z. He said, when you and your friend got money, you know, you never know because everything's good.
Right.
He said, but when y'all don't got money, then you can see how everybody's really gonna react. And that's what it is. That's why you got to be tried in adversity. Go ahead.
If I could add, like, man, it's multiple songs. That boy Zero touched on that too, but I ain't gonna go into that, right? But the heavy part about the description about the article you pulled was Sasquatch thought that his enemy.
Squanto.
Oh, Squanto. Well, I call Sasquatch. That's his nickname. Goddamn.
Squanto.
Squanto said, you know, he thought that his enemy was his friend.
Right.
But really his enemy was his enemy.
Damn right.
And at the end of the day, his enemy departed from him and it was just like, look, man, they don't take these treaties, we're gonna take their lives.
Right.
And that's how they departed from that whole little treaty. Because they kept 0 out of 500.
That's right.
But they slaughtered a total of 700.
Right.
Like million. If I could add sloppy.
It's the wickedness. It's the evilness.
Right.
Of these bastards. You continue.
Kind of, so.
Because this just dropped down to 10. Because this is what Squanto should have did.
Right.
This is what Squanto didn't understand. Is this right here?
That's right. Verse 10. Never trust thine enemy.
Sometimes.
Never trust thine enemy.
A couple times.
Never trust thine enemy.
It's okay today.
Never trust thine enemy. For like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness.
See, you know how iron rusts. So, you know, you start with this little piece of rust.
Right.
And all of a sudden, it just continues until everything is rusted. That is the oppressor in this world. He is such a disease, such a cancer that he just spreads and spreads and spreads all over. You can start at this little patch and it's gonna grow to be so vast. Go ahead.
That's heavy that you're saying, you know, the oppressor is like a cancer and cancer spreads. The only way to cure cancer is to cut it out.
That's right.
And how to cut it out is never trusting thine enemy. Because what do they have in their so-called zodiac sign? Cancer.
Right.
So you can't trust it. Like, come on.
You can't trust them. Never trust your enemy.
Trust him.
Every time you trust your enemy, you die. You lose. You get taken advantage of. Right. Okay? Continue reading.
Verse 11. Though he humble himself and go crouching.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yep.
Yet take good heed and beware of him.
Be what?
And beware of him.
You better beware of your oppressor. You better beware of your enemy. Okay? Continue.
And though, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou has wiped a looking glass.
It says, so thou shalt be unto him as thou looking at wiping glass. How do you look at wiping glass? You come in here in the Israelite school of UPK so you can see. So your eyes can be open. So you don't walk around being a goddamn idiot all your life. Right. Continue reading.
And thou shalt know that his rust had not been altogether wiped away.
So you come in here, you can see his rust has not been altogether wiped away. He just wiped the part that you could see. But rust runs deep. Okay? It rots it out. That's why old schools have holes in them. Who the hell you think knocked a hole in the metal? It was the rust.
Damn right.
That's what knocked the hole in metal. Wasn't nothing else but rust. Okay, continue reading.
Verse 12. Set him not by thee. Least
Hold on. Do what?
set him not by thee.
That's why they can't come to the goddamn feast days. You can't sit with us.
That's right.
Continue.
Set him not by thee, lest when he had overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place.
See? That's why you don't sit him by you. Because while he's sitting right here, he's taking crafty counsel. And as soon as he get in the position, he's going to overthrow you of your place. So if you up here, you the king, and he's the peasant, he's just watching and waiting for the day to do that. But that's what he does. He overthrows you. Go ahead.
If I could add, that's super heavy because, you know, in modern day society, they had this little series called a Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody fighting for the throne and whatnot. But to bring it into our modern day society, you got the real Jews and you got the Jewish community.
Right.
So they trying to overthrow the real Jews by saying Jewish is the original when the word ish only pertain to. It's not the same.
Right.
It's just similar comparisons to the original.
And that's exactly what it is. They're trying to be kind of like.
Right.
It's kind of like it.
Want to
be it. But it's not it.
Right.
Okay. Continue reading.
Sir. Neither let him sit at thy right hand,
Mm-hmm.
lest he seek to take thy seat.
See, he's always seeking to take every goddamn thing from you. You can't have nothing. This scripture right here is showing you that if you want to be equal to him, you want to bring him up to where you at, you want to be joined with him, then you can have nothing. If you want to be joined to your enemy, then just be a good slave. Okay? Just let him run every goddamn thing. You know? Which that's the real truth of America, because we want the white man to rule everything. You know why? Because without the white man, we can't have weed. We can't have cocaine. We can't have cigarettes. We can't be a homosexual. We can't be a transsexual. Without the oppressor, we can't have any of those things. Okay? Like I'll be watching wrestling. So they had two of the last like 3 or 4 events was held in the Middle East. So Saudi Arabia. So like most of the time you see the women, they're in the short stuff, right?
Right.
But in the lingerie. Saudi Arabia and Kuwait, they wasn't having it. You know, they was in full. I mean, from neck all the way up to here. I seen Leah. Leah used to have her little thong out and her little pants sagging. They don't accept that over there, because they have an understanding that whatever they say is the hierarchy.
Right. Okay.
So-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. When are you going to say whatever you say is the hierarchy? When are you going to tell Megan Thee Stallion that that's not the way to teach our young women? When are you going to tell Cardi B that's not the way to teach our young women? Young Thug. When are you going to tell him he's not to teach our men?
Right.
Okay? Go ahead and say what you got to say.
If I could, sir, what you bring to the table is super heavy. Like, can I bring 2 points?
You can bring as many points as you want.
Most high Christ. So last night I was on Clubhouse, right? And we had just got done dealing with the late night, on Whack 100 side.
Mm-hmm.
And I seen the room, and they were like, Christianity destroys the black community, but it was a bunch of Muslims on stage.
Right.
So, I was in the chat. I ended up getting boomed out the room and getting kicked, but I was just bringing the truth. Christianity is white supremacy. Muslim is Arab supremacy. Like, when we going to face the facts that everything came from our book?
That's right.
And that leads you to the next point, where you have Caesar Borgia, right? Homosexual, and a man that did incest and a murderer, try to play as our king,
right.
Yahushua HaMashiach. that we know today is the original Jesus Christ.
That's right.
Like he tries to sit in the seat and overthrow our king to say that in this kingdom, blacks and so-called blacks and so-called whites can all get along. Well, if we can all get along, why can't we get along in your kingdom?
Right.
Like you putting something and giving some type of hope that never exists in your world.
That's right.
Because this book isn't for all the worlds.
That's
right.
right.
The book is only for the world of Israel. Slightly.
That's right. Let's have what you say. Give me Habakkuk 2 and 18. Or first, let's finish this out. Where you at?
We at lest he seek to take thy seat.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Lest he take thy seat, and thou at the last remembering my words and be pricked therewith.
Go to 13.
Verse 13. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent?
You see that? So a charmer is like a charmer that was bitten by a serpent. So you know how you see those them East Indians,
right?
And they sitting there and they and then you see that snake coming out, that serpent coming out, right? That's what they're doing. They're charming the damn king cobra so it don't bite them. Okay, I hope it bite every single last one of them bastards doing that. But if it does bite one, you're not gonna have no pity on them because you're saying what? He playing with them, right? Continue.
Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts?
Any that comes nigh to wild beasts. So you come near a damn bear or a lion or a tiger and he rips your damn head off. Okay, I'm not gonna feel sorry for you. Right. You know what the hell they do. Okay, drop down to 16.
Verse 16. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips.
What does he do?
Speaketh sweetly with his lips.
He speaketh sweetly with those lips. Because what is he telling you? Thanksgiving is about giving thanks for you and your family. Aren't you thankful that you got a roof over your head?
Right.
Aren't you thankful? And then you see a bum on the street and you're like, yeah, I am thankful that I got a roof over your head. Don't you think? You thankful you got a car? You driving to work and then you see somebody who's at the bus. You're like, yeah, I am thankful I got a car. And you thankful you got a family when some people are lonely? Yeah, I am thankful for that. You're right. Let me celebrate Thanksgiving. Read that one more time.
An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips.
He speaks sweetly with those lips. Continue.
But in his heart, he imagined how to throw thee into a pit.
See, but in his heart, he's thinking of ways just to put you in hell. And that's what he does. He puts so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians in hell all the damn time.
Right.
Okay. Continue reading.
He will weep with his eyes.
He will weep with his eyes. He will cry in your face. Okay. Continue.
But if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood.
He's not satisfied with blood. How much blood have so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians suffered, has spilled? Are they satisfied? Is their thirst quenched as they drank your blood?
Right.
La. Okay.
700 million, I know.
You see that? They don't care. All right, we're gonna drop that. Let's get Exodus 23 and 22. Actually, no. Let me get Job 9 and 24.
Yeah. It's the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
The what?
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
That's why we don't know who the true Jews are, because the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covered up the faces of the judges thereof. Okay? That's what he does. You know? He cover up the faces. He make you not a Jew no more. and he steals your inheritance. Okay,
Right.
let's get to my other. Yeah,
Alright.
yeah. This the history and state and government. Okay, office of the historian. This is real history. This is public record.
Right.
Okay.
The office of the historian. Milestones 1830 through 1860. Milestones in the history of U.S. foreign relations has been retired and is no longer maintained.
You can just drop down to the
Title.
Indian treaties and
Indian treaties and the Removal Act of 1830. The U.S. government used treaties as one means to display Indians from their tribal lands.
you see that it says so. It says so. The U.S. government they used treaties as one means. Okay, so they have many means, but as one means. Okay, to displace the Indians. All right, from their tribal lands. This is what you call a hostile takeover. Okay, but sophisticated. Go ahead.
A
Mechanism.
a mechanism that was strengthened with the Removal Act of 1830 in cases where this failed. The government sometimes violated both treaties and Supreme Court rulings.
You see, we got to go to court and we got to hang by the letter of the law in court, right? But it just says that sometimes they violated both the treaties and the Supreme Court ruling. So if the Supreme Court said these natives are going to have this land, what did they do? They said the hell with that. Okay, you can continue reading.
The government sometimes violated both treaties and Supreme Court rulings to facilitate the spread of European Americans westward across the continent.
That's all. That's the only reason that they did this was so they could spread. Okay. The only reason they're going to do this is so they can spread the European Americans westward across the continents. Do you know how wicked that is? Do you know how abominable that is? That's the only reason they are harassing. That's the only reason they are causing these atrocities. It's because they just want to move their people forward west. They said, hell, we already snatched up the east. Why don't we snatch up the west? So we're going to take these treaties, okay, and we're going to do all of these things, and we're going to move these people out, because that's all it's about. It's about gaining land and territory and moving people out. Continue reading.
Andrew Jackson. As the 19th century began, land-hungry Americans.
You hear what they said? Land-hungry Americans. Why do they kill?
Land-hungry.
That's the only reason they kill, because they're land-hungry.
They
wonder what oil's under here. They wonder what gold's under here. They wonder what diamonds under here. They wonder what microchip is under. That's all they care about. Go ahead.
As the 19th century began, land-hungry Americans poured into the backcountry of the coastal South and began moving toward and into what would later become the states of Alabama and Mississippi.
So they starting way up. Wasn't it talking about Connecticut?
Right.
What the hell are y'all doing in damn Mississippi and Alabama? except conquering.
Right.
Okay? So we already showed you the history of Thanksgiving. We're going to show you the history of these treaties that they broke with the Native Americans. Continue reading.
Since Indian tribes living there appeared to be main obstacle to westward expansion, white settlers petitioned the federal government to remove them, although Presidents Thomas Jefferson and James Monroe argued that the Indian tribes in the Southeast should exchange their land for lands west of the Mississippi River.
Do you hear that? That's what they fighting for. Y'all should change. Y'all should exchange this land. Why the hell do y'all want them to exchange land when you're going to take it anyway? Continue reading.
They did not take steps to make this happen. Indeed, the first major transfer of land occurred only as a result of war.
So it wasn't going to Congress. It wasn't going and getting approval. It was just conquering. Okay, it was just war. We just going to go to war and we're going to take their land. Continue reading.
In 1814, Major General Andrew Jackson led an expedition against the Creek Indians, climaxing in the Battle of Horseshoe Bend in present-day Alabama near the Georgia border, where Jackson's force sounded, defeated the Crees, and destroyed their military power.
It says Jackson's force soundly defeated the Creeks and destroyed their military power. You know, soundly means easy, quietly. We ran them over. Continue reading.
He then forced upon the Indians a treaty whereby they surrounded the United States.
They surrendered.
Oh,
damn. He forced upon the Indians a treaty whereby they surrendered. That's the treaties. Yeah, that's the treaties that you get. Treaties to surrender. Continue reading.
Whereby they surrendered to the United States over 20 million acres of their traditional land.
How much is that? How the hell much is 20 million acres? How many acres is in a mile or miles is in an acre?
About 100 of those ranches they got.
They got all of it.
Right.
I mean, 20 million acres. Have you ever seen a damn piece of land that's 10 acres? Have you ever seen that? And how big that is? If you got 3 acres, you got land.
Right.
They said 20 million acres, fam. Go ahead, continue. Damn.
20 million acres of their traditional land. About 1/2 of the present day Alabama and 1/5 of Georgia. Over the next decade, Jackson led the way in the Indian removal campaign.
You see, this is that bastard that's on what, the $20 bill? They gave him a $20 bill because he conquered. A pedophile. Because he conquered. And you want to know why they gave him the $20 bill? Jump up to where it says, whereby they surrendered. This is up a little bit where we just came from. Thereby they surrendered to the United States over what?
Sir. Whereby they surrendered to the United States over 20 million
Over
acres.
what?
20
over 20?
20
And he on the $20 bill?
Damn.
That's why he got the $20 bill, because he made 20 million surrender.
Nice.
Damn, man. We are up against a wicked beast, and y'all don't even know it
If I could,
because you're thankful for Thanksgiving. Go
a
ahead.
wicked bastard.
A wicked bastard.
Like,
God damn. Good night. Y'all just gotta see and understand. You know, continue reading.
over the next decade. Oh yeah, I do. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Over the next decade, Jackson led the way of the Indian removal campaign, helping to negotiate 9 of the 11 major treaties to remove Indians.
Damn. 9 of the 11. He really hated them. Continue reading.
Depiction
Not that part. Right. Yep.
Under this kind of pressure, Native American tribes
Specifically.
There you go. The Cree,
The
Cherokee,
Mm-hmm.
Chickasaw,
Mm-hmm.
and
Choctaw.
realized that they could not defeat the Americans in war.
See, they realized they couldn't defeat them. Continue reading.
The appetite of the settlers for land would not abate.
So their hunger, their thirst, it can never be quenched. It can never be filled. It's endless. Continue.
The land would not abate, so the Indians adopted the strategy of
Appeasement. Do y'all know what appeasement is? It's settling. Let me appease you. If you don't like this, so let me appease you and make sure I don't do this. Okay, that's what appeasing means. So to appease someone is just to succumb under their demands. Continue reading.
So the Indians adapted the strategy of appeasement.
Mm-hmm.
They hoped that if they gave up a good deal of their land, they could keep at least some of the parts of it.
See, if we give you a good deal, maybe we could keep this little portion. Okay? If we let you have all of Egypt, maybe we can get just Goshen, right? We just want this little piece. That's all we ever want. Continue reading.
The Seminole tribe in Florida.
The what?
The Seminole tribe.
Reuben. What Reuben do? Continue.
The Seminole tribe in Florida resisted.
They resisted. They didn't give a damn. And you know how we know they resisted? Continue reading.
In the Second Seminole War.
In the second. So that means there was a first, and then there's a second. Continue.
Right. 1835 through 1842,
Mm-hmm.
the Third Seminole War, 1855 through 1858. However, neither appeasement nor resistance worked.
You see, that appeasement, pleasing them or resisting, it didn't work. But at least Reuben, they did what? They fought. Okay? 3 damn wars. And when you read Genesis, the 49th chapter, and it talks about Reuben, you know, you kind of get an understanding of how like they are warriors. They fight. Continue reading.
Damn right, sir. From a legal standpoint, the United States Constitution empowered Congress to regulate commerce with foreign nations and among the several states and with the Indian tribe. In early treaties negotiated between the federal government and the Indian tribes.
Hold on. It says from a legal standpoint, the United States Constitution empowered Congress to regulate commerce with foreign nations. Okay? And this is among several states. All right, continue.
In earlier treaties negotiated between the federal government and the Indian tribes, the latter typically acknowledge themselves to be under the protection of the United States of America.
Right, so you see that it said in the early negotiations between the federal government and Indian tribes. Okay, it says the latter typically acknowledge themselves to be under protection of the United States of America. So how come the people who came later, are under protection, but the people who've been there aren't? Continue reading.
To be under the protection of the United States of America and of no other sovereign whosoever.
Mm-hmm.
When Andrew Jackson became president 1829 through 1837, he decided to build a systematic approach.
Systematic racism right in your damn face. Continue.
Systematic approach to Indians' removal of the basis of their legal presence. Oh,
Presidents.
Exactly
what they do to you today. Nothing has changed. Continue.
To achieve his purpose, Jackson encouraged Congress to adapt the Removal Act of 1830.
You see, so he had them adopt this Removal Act. Because that's all they care about is making a deal and then removing the deal. Continue reading.
The act established process whereby the president could grant land west of the Mississippi River to Indian tribes to agree to give up their homelands as incentives. The land allowed the Indians financial and material assistance to travel to their new location to start new lives and guarantee the Indians would live on their new property under the protection of the United States government forever.
Mm-hmm. Continue.
With the act in place, Jackson and his followers were free to persecute.
No. We're free to persuade.
Oh, slightly. Were free to persuade.
And what else?
Bribe.
And what else?
And threaten tribes into signing removal treaties and leaving the Southeast.
That's what they do. Like when the brother talked about them bringing out the guns and the bombs and everything. That's what they do to make you sign over. They use fear to make you sign. You want to know why you signing them deals in court? Because of fear. Okay? That's what they do. Continue reading so we can finish this out and close out this class. And if you miss this class tonight, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Hopefully you see this video so you know what the hell Thanksgiving is about. Continue.
In general terms, Jackson's government seceded. But, it's like, by the end of his presidency, he had signed into law also 70.
Almost.
He has signed into law almost 70 removal treaties.
So this is just one person who has signed in 70 removal treaties. Go ahead.
The result of which was to move nearly 50,000 Eastern Indians to Indian territory.
Do you see that? So one man. So think of all the treaties they broke. This is one man who broke almost 70. That 70 affected 500,000. We got to understand, man, this oppressor is such a devil and such a beast and such a wicked bastard. This is what he does to us. Continue reading.
The result of defining as the region belonging to the United States west of Mississippi River, but excluding the United States of Missouri and Iowa. Iowa was well as territory of Arkansas,
Mm-hmm.
and opened millions of acres of rich land east of Mississippi to white settlers.
You see where the rich land go? Where did millions of acres of the rich land go?
East of the Mississippi to white settlers.
It went to white settlers, not the natives who've been there, keeping this land pure, making it great, making America great again. Continue.
Despite the vastment of Indian territory, the government extended the Indians' destination would be more confined area. Would be a more confined area.
Like a reservation. That's real confined. Like a ghetto. Like a barrio. That's real confined. Continue reading. Offset the Makia.
What later became Eastern Oklahoma. The Trail of Tears. 1942. The Cherokee Nation resisted, however, challenging in court the Georgia law that resisted their freedom.
That restricted their freedom. Damn. Continue.
They restricted their freedom on tribal land.
Tribal
land. In his 1831 ruling on Cherokee Nation versus State of Georgia, Chief Justice John Marshall declared that the Indian territory is admitted to compose a part of the United States, and affirmed that the tribes were domestic dependent nations, and their relation to the United States resembles that of a ward to his guardian. However, the following year, the Supreme Court revised itself.
Reverse.
Reverse.
Hey, what did it say? It said the following year. We're going to make this, but the next year, we're going to reverse this. Continue.
And the following year, the Supreme Court reversed itself and ruled that Indian tribes were indeed sovereign and immune from Georgia law.
Yeah, right. Because why the hell ain't the Indians taking over Georgia? Why ain't they running Georgia? Why ain't there a bunch of reservations just all in Georgia? Why don't they got all the good lands in Georgia? Continue reading.
President Jackson nonetheless refused to heed the court's decision.
You see that? You see, the court said, okay, but the president said, the hell with that. Continue.
He obtained the signature of a Cherokee chief agreeing to relocate in the Treaty of New Ekata, which Congress ratified against the protests of Daniel Webster and Henry Clay in 1835. The Cherokee signed party represented only a faction of the Cherokee, and the majority followed Principal Chief John Ross in a desperate attempt to hold onto their land. This attempt faltered in 1838.
It faltered.
Faltered in 1838, when under the guns of federal troops and Georgia State military, the Cherokee tribe were forced to the dry plains.
Where were they forced?
Forced to the dry plains.
So you got to grow things in the desert now. Damn. Continue reading.
Forced to dry plains across Mississippi. The best evidence indicates that between 3,000 and 4,000 out of the 50 to 60,000 Cherokees died en route from the brutal conditions of the Trail of Tears.
Damn, that's a lot. 15 and 16,000 Cherokees died en route to the brutal conditions of the Trail of Tears. Continue reading.
With the exception of a small number of Seminoles still resisting removal in Florida. By the 1840s, from the Atlantic to the Mississippi, no Indian tribes resided in the American South through the combination of
Coerced.
Coerced,
Yeah, coerced.
treaties and the contravention of treaties and judicial determination. The United States government succeeded in paving the way for the Western expansion.
So it says the United States succeeded in paving the way for the westward expansion. What is the westward expansion? Moving them out of their land and you taking over it. That's all it is. That's what expansion is.
Damn.
Right? Go ahead.
If I could, like, before the so-called oppressors, right, came into this land where brothers dwell, right, the Seminole and the Gadites, it was called Florida.
Right.
It was called California. And when they conquered it, they start renaming Georgia, Mississippi, Arkansas. All that was a part of Florida.
Right.
Like Louisiana Purchase, that was Florida.
Right.
That's why they purchased the Louisiana Purchase.
Damn right.
Good night.
Good night. Get that, brother, man.
That's why they moved westward.
Right.
With the Florida. Good.
And that's what they do. And as they moved, that's why you have Virginia. And then they had to have West Virginia.
Damn.
And they had to just keep it, they have to keep stuff going. Keep going. That's what they do. That's what your enemy does. Finish that out. So we can
I
close
forgot
out.
what I was there because I'm pissed
We had
I got you. With the expectation of a small number of Seminole still resisted removal in Florida by the 1840s, from the Atlantic to the Mississippi, no Indian tribes reassigned in the American South, though the combination of the concrete treaties and the convention. Goddamn, yeah, tongue twister.
contravention.
The contravention of treaties and judicial determination, the United States government succeeded in paving a way for the Western expansion and the incorporation of new territories as part of the United States.
Wasn't that just what you were saying when it's talking about those new territories? How the Louisiana Purchase,
Right.
the this, the that. That's exactly what that is. And see, we got to understand that, man. And see, the only way you're going to get that understanding is here in Israelite school at UPK. Because without that, you're not going to know. Okay? You're not going to know. You're not going to understand. Okay? So, is there any questions or any comments or anything?
Nah, sir.
All right. Well, shalom. This is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the Commander General Yohana. Shalom. All right. We're going to Imagium. We're going to
security announcements.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and get those. Yeah, go ahead and get those. Salakia.
All right, no, sir. This is ISUPK security announcements. We're the ISUPK. Start out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother sister. When new brother sister come to school, they outlive for 6 months. It'll be saluted only. They're here to share success of the world. If you need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if the brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission for the head to marry tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21. Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Means 10th in Hebrew. My Ishra, 10% of every penny, every increase the Lord gives you, give it to the treasury department or a teacher, priest fund. Free will offer for a priest, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. The upcoming holy convocation will be the Feast of Dedication, High Hanukkah, the 25th day of the 9th month, by the space of 8 days. This fall on Saturday, December 17, 2022, for 8 days. First Maccabees, chapter 4, verses 52 through 61. If anyone wants to become a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. I'm also the Maki, concluding the ISUPK security announcements, pass the class back to Officer Small One.
All right, we're going to a Magium, which means stand. All right, we're going to SAR. We're going to, let's give the, we're going to a Magium. We're going to SAR and turn and face the east. We're going to get the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa.
Shabbat
Shabbat
Shemayim. Kodash. Ayah. Shemka. Yahweh. Malakwaka. Taba'ah. Ratazaka. Ayah.
Asha.
Ba'aratazah. Kawa. Ayah. Bashamayim. Natanalawa. Lakam. Ka. Yawam. Wasalakinawa. Kawakinawa. Kasalakinawa. Kawakinawa. Wala.
Taba'a Nawa.
Yinawa.
Banasayawan. Awa.
Abal.
Hawa Shanawa.
Hawashinawa.
Mayan.
Ra.
Kaya.
Kayalaka.
Hamalakwa.
Waha'ala.
Wahatapara.
Wa'alam. Aman.
In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it. All right. We're going to start our turn. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the teacher. All right. Men of Israel. Majim Shabbat. Majim. Barak.
Yahweh Shimi Al-Shabbat.
Yahweh Shimi Al-Shabbat. All right. We're going to turn. We're going to Yajamatah. We're going to turn. Sar. Face the sisters. Sister stand. All right. Men of Israel. Majim Shabbat. Majim. Barak. Yahweh Shemal Ladam Ba'Shem Yahushua. All right, Yajamatah, class dismissed.